Welcome back to the channel. I am Matt Capper, and there's another video on Raid Shadow Legends. I noticed that every time a Fire Night tournament starts, one of my videos, which is Fire Night 24-25 Variations, seems to get a lot of hits. It's a video that every time it pops up, which kind of makes sense, right? If people are looking for answers, advice to speed tune, you name it. Well, this here is an updated with the one comp that I am currently using right now. So without further ado, let me show you my team for Fire Night 25. So here's the team here, just so we all know. Yes, I get it. Oh, it's an Allure team. If you want to find options that don't have Allure, there are a couple out there. I do feature one of them in the video, which I will link in the description. I'll link in the description, and I'll link somewhere up here. Hopefully I'll get that right. I always seem to mess up those cards. They're not very intuitive. Or I'm not intuitive. I don't know, one or the other. But this is the team I'm using. This is the fastest team I've ever built. And actually today, with some of the changes and tweaks to the AI system, the team setup, it's actually faster than it's ever been. It broke the 1:30. I'm sure there's faster out there. If you have a faster than 1 minute 30 seconds Fire Night 25 without using speed hacks, let me know in the description down below. What's the team you're using and how did you achieve it? That'd be awesome. What's your success rate as well? Probably be important. But this is the team I'm using. And we're gonna run it first, and then we'll talk about the setup, because of course you want to see it in action. The biggest thing that you have is you see the buffs that come into the game. They're all wearing specific gear. We'll go over that requirement soon. The second thing you'll note is that it's Ghostborn. Usually you see Lydia because she gives the extra buff, but the reason why this works so well is Ghostborn, who of course is neutral affinity and spirit, can't be resisted on his A3, which puts that defense down. The fact that it doesn't also have a weaken means you do on that first round have to do better. Now in the second round, Seer's actually going to put up the weaken, so the second round is irrelevant. But that first round is very important, so you have to pay attention to it and really make sure that you're doing the right move there. I did do some tweaks to the AI. Even since the last time I tested this, I heard that people had some of their AI was messed up, so just make sure you check that out when you're doing your runs with your current one. So I already tell you right now, I did some tweaks on Lady Kimmy, and it's clearly worked. It's made this even less scary. So the deal is Lady Kimmy puts that decreased speed, but it's on cooldown because she uses it in round 2. So I just actually locked it out of round 2 so that she can use it in round 3 after the shields are down. So that really helped. You got that speed debuff on the boss immediately, which is just going to speed up the or just keep it's going to make it more consistent. I haven't seen this fail yet, but there's a couple times that you're thinking, boy, there is a, albeit a minuscule 0.1% type of chance that if Allure, say, got 3%ed on 2 of her 3 on that initial hit or something like that. But here, it's fine. It's open. She goes right away. She puts that decreased speed, which just makes all the difference on him. Like, the turn meter's not even close. See, this one's a bit slower. It's interesting, though. That's a minute 48. The last time I ran it, it was 1:27. It could just be because I'm recording this time and it's a little bit slower with OBS. But I will say this is a minute 27. It used to be a 134 or 133. Minute 27 to a minute 48 comp, because that's kind of one of the slower times I've seen this on. But very easy, sub 2 minute comp. It should, like I said, usually around a minute and a half. Hey, perhaps the change made it slower in the long term. I'll do some more testing. But let's show you the team. We'll show you the setup. First, let's show you the setup. So again, this looks different now. So it is, you do want to come in. So Ghostborn, I just let him do his thing. We don't do any changes to any of the rounds. Seer, we always just want her to use her Karma Burn whenever it's up. Renegade, so this is the first change. Originally, this is what it looked like for all of them, where it was using Lash Out first. But what I did is Lash Out it's a multi-hit. You need that on the shield. So what I did, just to be safe, is we locked out Lash Out and Sacrificial Ritual in round 1. We prompted her to use Sacrificial Ritual first in round 2, but not use Lash Out, so that when it gets to 3, even if something weird happens and someone doesn't quite die, maybe you don't quite have enough damage to one-shot that first wave because you don't have the weaken. Keeping in mind, again, the weaken does go Seer does use that in round 2. So round 2, everyone will have a weaken. That's why it's much easier wave to clear. But that first wave, if you don't quite clear them, you can do things like have her karma burn, but then you could do this. You could use it as an opener, but then don't use. That way, no matter what happens in that first round, she'll still have that available for round 2. Now, I'm not going to do that because I don't need to. But if you find that first wave, you're not killing everyone, you need a couple A1s, you can now build this team out to do that. Remember, Renegade's not using Sacrificial Ritual until round 2, so if you're locking this out, it doesn't matter how many turns it takes, it's not using it, which is a really good thing. Same with Allure. This is a change I made. Normally we just lock it out in all 3 rounds. You see here, they're locked out. That's where we just want her to use her A1, but here you can use this temptation. She won't have it up because she's going to use it here, but round 1 is where I need that most pre-damage just to make sure if she's using temptation, it's just going to be easier to kill that first round. And Lady Kimmy on the first round, she's going to use Spirit Flux, and then of course Seer is going to kill them all. Round 2, I don't want her to use Flurry of Petals, and then round 3, I'm telling her to use Lady's Touch, her A1 first. Then, because now the shield will be open on her second turn, then she can use Flurry of Petals, which is that decreased speed. And that's what I want to have happen, because now she has that decreased speeds immediate. It just increases the probability that this is 100%. So like I said, I've yet to have it fail in the months I've been using it. As far as gear is also equally important. It isn't just a matter of speeds. You saw the speeds there. We'll talk about them briefly again when we look at the individual champions. But first, let's take a look at Lady Kimmy. She's the second fastest at 252, but more importantly, she's wearing immunity gear. That's for the buff. We need that extra buff in order for Seer to get the damage she needs on that first wave. If you had it and I just didn't, I might have one now, to be honest with you. Oh, I do have a blood shield now. Is it the right kind? 8 defense. I mean, if it keeps rolling flat attack, we're not going to use it. But I could put that blood shield on just for extra security. The more buffs, the better for Seer to eat. Remember, blood shield and a shield set are 2 different buffs. So they do each count as an individual buff when Seer uses it to calculate her damage. Also, keep in mind, she's second. I said that again already. Second fastest. You can build her out for more damage. More damage just means quicker boss. And with all champions, whatever here makes sense for you, but the biggest thing is to get that War Master proc. It's not going to make a difference on the waves. It is going to make a difference on the boss. The more War Master procs, the quicker they run. Okay, so that's her. Next up is Ghostborn. Ghostborn is goes fourth. Yes, goes fourth at 232. And again, we just want as much damage as possible. It doesn't have to be 100%. I could probably crit cap him just to give him a little extra damage. He doesn't need accuracy, so the rest of it's really not important. But again, you see he's immunity and blood shield. And for the masters, you see the War Master proc. The next up is Seer. Seer, again, War Master proc, because we want that consistency. We want this on the boss. We don't want to have Helm Smasher to kill people on waves. That's not doing it right. It means you're not going to be consistent. We could go with Flawless Execution if you are not getting the damage numbers you need. Take Seer to Flawless Execution, but as it is, I am. So I'm going to use War Master, which is going to help me on the boss. She's in Savage, the only one. Really wouldn't mind her in Cruel, but again, the crit damage number was more important to me, so we put her in crit damage gear. And her speed, of course, she's the slowest. She goes last at 192. Allure is up next. Now, Allure is one where, if you are missing out on damage, this is an opportunity. I have a blood shield, but I do not have immunity gear. I'm pretty sure 287 is the slowest speed she can be. You might have to test it. It might be 292. It's in that high, close to 300s. I have her over 300, and I just kept her like that. But I do not have immunity gear fast enough. I do, just it's on a different champion, and I'm not taking it off that champion. So this works for me, but if you are looking again, that first wave, if you're worried about it, and you need that extra buff just for insurance, then you can put her in immunity gear. Just remember, it's a very high speed requirement for Allure for this to work. Blood shield, ring as always, of course. And finally, our Renegade. So our Renegade is wearing our shield set. Doesn't matter who's wearing the shield set, who's wearing the immunity. You just have to have, if you need to maximize buffs, four immunity, 1 shield set. You can get away with it if you have enough damage to just have 3 immunity, as I do. And then she's got the blood shield as well. So that's giving us all those extra buffs. Keep in mind, she's the 3rd fastest, sitting at 244. So when you put that all together, that's your run. Very simple, very sweet, and a nice sub 2 minute. Still a little disappointed that it wasn't 127 and now it's not. And again, we'll run it one more time for you just to end it out. You see there, you see all the buffs that are on them immediately, even before the rest go on. That's just helping the overall buff there. Boom. Also get that attack up from Ghostborn. That's why Ghostborn works. He puts the attack up and he has that unresistible ability. See there, you've got the weaken, plus he's going to put on his ability. So when you've got the 2 combined, this is not a problem. She kills that no problem. 700,000 on the one guy. Like, it's not even close. And then here, you've got shield. See, we made her use that A1 first. We used A2 on Renegade to get those hits. Now we have boom, shield's open, and immediately she's putting that decreased speed. So we're not in any danger. This thing rarely gets, I don't think it gets past half at this point. Keep in mind, Kimmy's A1 also does reduce turn meter. It's a safety valve, but you probably don't need her. If there's anyone on this team you can change and still work, it's Lady Kimmy. It will be a little bit slower, I've noticed, but you could try putting anyone else in there that puts, she needs those 2 buffs, so it has to be someone with 2 buffs. Decrease speed, turn meter, that's kind of important, but if you can find someone else that can do the job, then you should be fine. I honestly think the amount of extra turns Seer gets off her A1 might be the difference maker, because if she runs through buffs and then tries to use her A3 because of extra turns, that might be part of the problem. Like there, she didn't do too bad of damage. Yeah, and this one's still gonna be pretty good. It's gonna be what, 137. Yeah, so 137, really good times, really good comp, 100%. And if you have those champions, have the best of luck and have fun, because that's the only tournament going on right now, right, guys? I don't think there's anything else going on. I mean, that couldn't be anything else important. I mean, it's Fire Night, right? Oh, right, they're giving away a free Krisk. Okay, fine. I'll tell you about my story. I have 2 Krisks. I am not an animal, but I'm an asshole. So I am just, this guy's actually been leveling up, but I just got up to here this morning. I'm not looking for first place. If he were to quit and just be like, screw it, I'm not doing anymore, I'll take first place, but I'm not pushing for it. I've stayed in second every time just to keep him guessing. Plus, I need to level up champions anyway. I'm getting a lot of champions leveled up that I need to that are epics that are new. So I just figure it's a good chance I can keep myself at second, keep him guessing, and have a little fun. It's probably a bit sadistic, but we're having fun. And it's a pretty low group overall. I've heard groups that are battling it out at 80 and 100. And of course, you got the global leaderboard. People that are, you know, just... This is funny. This is funny to me. Both of you need to find a girlfriend. Like, I don't have a girlfriend, and yet I don't look this bad. I'm just thinking out loud. Anyway, thank you for joining me in the video. I hope this was a useful Fire Night video for you, and I hope that if you're watching this in the week of March 23rd, that you are having fun in whatever group you've ended up in and that you have a chance for it, or you're just using it as an opportunity to gain some resources and build some champions. That's all I have for today. Once again, comments down below. Do you have a faster team than 130? What is that team? Let me know the comp. I might even try it out and feature in a video upcoming soon. Otherwise, be kind, stay safe. We'll see you in the next